Hi, in this video, I'm going to break down the four theories of language acquisition that I have chosen, which are first, the Nativist theory, second, the social interaction theory, third, the cognitive theory, and lastly is the behaviorist theory, and by also following the guide questions. So, to formally begin, let's start with the Nativist theory. Nativist theory says that we are born with a natural ability to acquire language. It explains that our language learning is inborn, as if our brains are already programmed for acquiring language. This theory is important because it shows us that learning is not just from our environment or from our surrounding itself, but it is also about our ability to actually acquire it naturally. While in the classroom, we can provide opportunities for our students to discover and explore language on their own. For example, we can have storytelling in the class, and then we ask the students, like, what are the characters or what are the characters' role in the story? As simple as that. Next, we have the social interaction theory. Social interaction theory says that we learn language through interaction or through interacting with other people. It explains that our language learning is a type of social process, which means we need to communicate with other people in order for us to acquire language. And this theory is important because I have found that learning language is not just about our own individual effort, but it also reminds us that we can seek help from other people as well to be better in speaking. In the classroom, we can have group work or paired task for the students to encourage in socialization. For example, we can have the student do dramas that requires them to communicate with each other. The third one is the cognitive theory. Cognitive theory believes that learning language is a mental process. It explains that our language learning is a type of mental work and an active skill that involves problem solving also. This theory is important because it demonstrates that learning language is not just all about memorization, but it also about understanding. In the classroom, we can use the four pick one word activity where students are shown four pictures and then they have to formulate a word that could relate to the four pictures. And that will perfectly illustrate our cognitive theory there. And last but not the least, what we call the behaviorist theory. Behaviorist theory says that we learn language through repetition and feedback. It explains that our language learning is came from our habits or our repetitive actions and behavior, especially that we tend to learn a language by repeating what we hear. This theory is important because it emphasizes the importance between our environment and the feedback of the people around us that goes hand in hand, that continues to shape our language learning today. In the classroom, we can provide activity to the students like they have to repeat a word or phrases or sentences after us, and then we give or provide feedbacks about their pronunciation. And that includes reinforcement also. And that's all for my four theories of language acquisition, and I hope I was able to explain it clearly. See you next video.